Hey, Private, Looks like someone can use a snack.
Don't be daft, woman. This is a problem that snacks can't solve.
I know that you're upset, but that doesn't mean you could talk to our snacks like that.
It's all over, Xena. No more NACT. No more competition. No more watching the best in North America face off. What are we gonna do?
Private, it's not over. The NACT is just taking a small break. Our North America representatives are on their way to Romania right now to compete in the IESF Mobile Legends tournament.
Really?
That's right. We'll be able to see Chicken, Best Player, ISO, Yato, and Warrior compete against the top teams of all over the world, including the Philippines and Indonesia, all for a chance at $50,000 grand prize.
I didn't know that.
And after it's done, the NACT returns and kicks off stage 3 of our competition.
So the NACT's not over.
This time, teams will be allowed to make changes to their rosters, and this stage will finally tell us who will make it to the playoffs.
So the NACT's coming back.
Yes. Are we feeling better? Chugga, 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 chugga. All aboard the Snack Express leaving the station. Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop. Stage 2 was the final week to settle the score as teams fought for their place at the top of the NA mountain and a spot in the NACT playoffs. There was a 4-way tie for 5th place, and the day started out with 2 teams looking to separate themselves from the pack, Area 77 versus Aggravate ones. From the opening objective, Area 77 stole a turtle and looked to remind Aggravate ones just why they were once considered the most feared team in North America by mounting a startling 2K lead by the 5-minute mark. The macro-focused gameplay was evident from Area 77 as Mark Cutie rotated to help his team secure a second turtle, then swapped lanes with his XP laner Merciless to take top tower. At the 21-minute mark, both teams clashed at the bottom lane. However, Area 77's target focus proved superior as they put down 4 of Aggravate One's members, taking their 18-14 victory. Learning from the mistakes of their first game, Aggravate Ones brought the focus to their objectives, even capturing the first 2 turtles despite Area 77's contention. However, at 6 minutes, the 3rd turtle would set the tone for the rest of the game as Area 77 cleared the way for DPR to get a maniac on his Martis. The hits kept on coming as Area 77 caught up to Black and forced out his team's cult altar, and once again gave DPR free reign to swoop in for the kills. This time claiming the season's 3rd Savage, leading his team to a 16-4 victory that claimed the series.
Go ahead and take the inhibitor on the top side. A Savage! He has done it! DPR, the 2nd Savage on Martis!
The next series featured the Night Horde versus the Knights of Fate, and both teams were sporting subs on their roster. The Night Horde seemed ill-prepared to deal with the triple fighter composition that the Knights used to dominate Avalon the week prior. While the Night Horde were able to take first blood and first turtle, the Knights of Fate quickly began to punish them with dominating team fights for each objective they took. Once at the 650 mark and another at the 9-minute mark. Eventually, the Knights of Fate forced the Night Horde's hand as they attempted to contest a Lord, resulting in a complete team wipe for the Night Horde to an 11-3 victory for the Knights of Fate. Learning their lesson from the first game, the Horde banned Angela. They put the pressure onto the Knights with the first turtle secure and 2 kills, and then another turtle take and 3 kills, bringing them to a dominating 6-0 lead by the 5-minute mark, led by Myth on his lance. All seemed locked in for Myth until the Knights of Fate were able to turn around the first Lord fight, resulting in 4 deaths for the Night Horde. An opportunity was all the Knights needed as they took another Lord and synced up the lanes for one final push, resulting in a 19-13 sweep for the Knights of Fate. We were looking to crown the top 4 of Stage 2 as Avalon took on Area 77. Avalon set the tone in the opening moments by finding a first blood onto Merciless. DPR was struggling to find the same success on his Martis as their opponents claimed the first turtle and 2 additional kills for it. Even while Juice Cutie was able to steal the Lord away, Avalon continued to outperform them at every turn, finding towers and a 3k gold lead by the 8th minute. Ultimately, a pick onto DPR led Avalon to a team fight that cost Area 77 4 kills, 2 deaths, and a Lord. Avalon were able to gain a 10k gold lead by the 14th minute. The Lord was able to assist with the final push into the base for a 20-6 victory for Avalon. Area 77 started the second match with renewed vigor. They attempted to match the pace of their opponents at every turn, even coming out on top of the first 2 turtle fights. Avalon worked hard to slow the pace of their opponents, even offsetting some attempted ganks at mid. By the 11th minute mark, Avalon found themselves in the hot seat as Area 77 punished them in the Lord Pit. By the 27th minute, it was clear that Area 77 was not going down without a fight. Gal's Cutie was able to find Basic, and Area 77 was able to push back Avalon. With the Lord at their back, Area 77 was able to find their 13-11 victory and push the series to a 3rd game. Both teams seemed wise to the other's tricks, as each objective was met with counters and successful defenses. Once, as Fallen was forced to trade 2 lives for a turtle, and another during a tower push by Area 77. While Fallen struggled to get kills, he made up for it with the incredible map control of his Ling, diving from opposite sides of the map to clear minion waves and split pushing towers. Ultimately, it was this pressure from Fallen that enabled Avalon to get the final Lord and score them a 12-8 victory. The final series of the night spotlighted 2 underdog teams that had predictions split right down the middle. Knights of Fate versus the Bloodhounds. The Bloodhounds' pressure on the gold lane began to pay out, and the team was able to find 3 picks onto Powerless's Carmilla that reinforced their objective fights for the first 2 turtles. Bokarosca turned up the heat in the gold lane with Novara's sniping power, punishing the Knights at every turn. As we moved into the late game, a well-positioned Bloodhounds were able to catch the Knights of Fate rotating, earning them 2 kills, a tower, and an uncontested Lord. By the 14th minute, Bloodhounds' pushing power was undeniable as they forced a wipe and secured a 19-4 victory. With a spot on the top 4 slipping through their fingers, the Knights of Fate secured Kufra and Harley early in the draft, comfort picks for Powerless and Zero. Even with a failed gank onto the gold lane that cost them first blood, the Knights were able to take a commanding 5-3 lead over the Bloodhounds after a successful turtle fight. Powerless continued to find successful picks with his Kufra, making each objective fight a battle zone for the Bloodhounds. Eventually, Powerless found a fantastic flicker set onto the Bloodhounds that set up his team for a 22-13 victory over the Bloodhounds. It was the last game of the night, and Bloodhounds were confident in their ability to deal with Powerless on Kufra, even picking up Gord for their mid lane, a choice that Powerless made him regret from the opening minute of the game. Bokarasco appeared to have a target on his back, and the Knights of Fate seemed focused on trying to shut him down. The Bloodhounds mid laner found frustration at every turn, getting caught trying to rotate to the XP lane. With the side lane suffering and mid unable to rotate, the Knights of Fate were able to clinch a 12-25 victory, dethroning the Bloodhounds and finding themselves a spot in the top 4 of NACT.
We now move on to day 4 of stage 2. Still in the lower bracket, we have Avalon versus Knights of Fate as they fought for a chance at a comeback. During the draft phase, Zero once again brought out his Harley, and some were skeptical of this pick. This choice proved superior as Zero gained the first blood of the match and kept his reign of terror 6 kills under his belt before a shutdown by Fallen. Pressure up high, Knights of Fate took the mid inhibitor and 2 Avalon members. With the outright domination, they claimed the Lord, synced the minion waves, and marched their way down mid lane for a victory of 21-7. With Powerless doing so well in his role, doing their homework, Avalon banned his Carmilla. As the match went on for 6 minutes, Avalon and Knights of Fate stayed evenly matched with 4-4, only a 1k gold lead to the Knights of Fate. By around 9 minutes, a Lord tango ensued. Fallen took the Lord, but it cost him dearly as Knights of Fate took down 3 of the Avalon members. It stayed a back and forth battle until Avalon was able to secure Lord and 2 Knights of Fate members. Avalon made their final push to earn them the 23-17 win. Avalon banned Zero's Harley as they knew it would be good against their Yve. Turtle battle raged on as Kai claimed it, but paid for it as Twinks and Fallen took him and Powerless out. At 7 minutes, Knights of Fate looked to be doing well objectively as they had 3 turtles and a tower down on the side of Avalon. They kept up their objective strat and took a second Lord, then strolled into Avalon's base to take it all, ending at 15-9. It seemed that everyone was geared up for the Hyo brothers and BTK, but an upset these matches were as it had us on the edge of our seat. As Knights of Fate outshined Avalon, they then faced BTK, the Bloodthirsty Kings. The game started out with Knights of Fate in the lead with 6-2 kills and a 3k gold lead, but things took a turn when BTK evened up the gold and closed the kill gap by the 8th minute. Lord entered the game and both teams swarmed in. Zane was taken out and Lord went to the side of Knights of Fate, but it was not free as the toll was 3 members of their own. Another team fight breaks out topside. Powerless missed his set and paid with his life. This snowballed as BTK took 2 more Knights of Fate members. They forced their way onto the top inhibitor, taking down Mikasa in the process. In the final moments, a Lord fight led to a wipeout on the side of Knights of Fate. BTK free to push in. They take the win at 19-8. Game 2 started with Joybaj taking a double kill, which led to 3 deaths on the side of Knights of Fate and a turtle game on the side of BTK. By the 4th minute, they had a 7-2 and a 3k gold lead. After they had lost 2 of the turtles, Knights of Fate tried to contest the 3rd, but BTK was not having it. They backed Knights of Fate into a corner as they took out 4 of them in the tower. BTK kept their aggression going as they held total control of the map. They took an uncontested Lord and drove straight into Knights of Fate's base for a victory at 19-5. Going into the match strong, Joybaj again took first blood. With strategic placement, T gave perfect vision as he camped in enemy territory near their purple buff. This led to an uncontested turtle and Knights of Fate's buff for himself. After a bit of abuse from BTK, Knights of Fate's had enough. Zero snatched the first kill from their team by taking out Zane. Kai followed up and took out Joybaj, then another kill for Zero. 3 kills to the side of Knights of Fate as they fought for a comeback. In the final battle, the teams were in a tug-of-war with the Lord, but before anyone could claim him, Lord was reset. BTK decided to push into Knights of Fate, causing them to back up. This did not stop BTK as they wiped out the entire team. Last sweep had the final game, ending at 18-11. For the finale of Stage 2, we had the Ohio Brothers versus the Bloodthirsty Kings at it again. Game 1 began with the Ohio Brothers in the lead with 3 kills and a 1.5 gold lead by 4 minutes. Poon on his A game rained down a real-world manipulation. This assisted best player with his double kill. At this point, the Ohio Brothers were in total control with 2 turtles, 3 towers down, 12 kills, and a 4k gold lead. At the 11th minute, the Ohio Brothers overpowered BTK as they forced in the bottom inhibitor. Best player with his quick cables took a double kill, ending in 4 dead on the side of BTK. A free lord for the Ohio Brothers had them skipping their way down the lane, taking a win at 22-5. After a discouraging defeat, BTK popped off Game 2. Zane took out Hoon and snatched the first turtle. BTK did not want to keep another beatdown as they kept kills even up until the 11th minute, but the Ohio Brothers still had a leg up with a 4k gold lead and most objectives. By the 15 minutes, the Ohio Brothers had a Lord tunneling down the lane. They pressured BTK at their base. The harassment kept on as they forced their way in, ending the game at 12-7. Early game was action-packed, with Zane escaping a gank. He continued on to contest Turtle, but best player denied him and earned himself a killing spree as they traded ISO and Joybaj for Mielo. At 7 minutes, a conceal play by Joybaj earned a killing spree for Zane as they took out Hoon and Zia, but Mielo made him pay for it with his life. In the final minutes, the Ohio Brothers, with Lord on their side, made their way towards BTK base. BTK tried to stop the rampage, but a wipeout and a sweeping victory to the side of the Ohio Brothers, 11-16.
What an incredible night to cap off and end Stage 2 of the NACT.
Yes, it was fun to watch, and what battles and savages and upsets, it was a blast to see.
Yeah, but that does mean Stage 2 has ended, and we have awarded everybody their points. Sitting right now in number 1, of course, the Ohio Brothers with 200 points. At 180 points is the Bloodthirsty Kings. Avalon coming up next, narrowly with 150 points, and newly making their appearance in the top 4, Knights of Fate with 140 points. Right at their heels, though, is the Bloodhounds with 130. Area 77 is next up with 120 points, and a tie for 7th and 8th place, Aggravate Ones and the Night Horde with 110 points. Ladies and gentlemen, guys, thank you so much for viewing our content. I'm Private Dancer, and that's Xena Lily. We put out content throughout the week. I also stream on Twitch and YouTube. You can find me at Private Dancer with an 8 every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6 Central.
And you can catch me, Xena Lily, on Twitch Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, or you can catch me on the Discord.
You guys can catch our socials below as well. And if you guys like the content, go ahead, feel free to leave a like and sub for us. We really appreciate it, and we are still trying to grow. Tell your friends, and we will check you guys later.